I'm Beth Miller, and we're here to talk about health education and integrating nutrition with the third grade standards. Our third grade standard we're using are students will comprehend concepts related to health promotion and disease prevention to enhance health, which basically in a nutshell says that we are supposed to give them ideas and concepts to develop healthy behaviors. Since we are focusing on nutrition, I would like to start off the introductory activity with what does it mean to be healthy, and students will give examples of what they think being healthy means and what it includes, like what does a healthy person do and how do they live. So once we move on from that whole group discussion, we will work on the introductory activity, which creates a word web using healthy foods. So each student will receive a pack of sticky notes, and on the board there will be labeled healthy foods, and each student will write down what their idea of a healthy food is and put their sticky note upon the board, and they all get connected. Some examples I have are apples, milk, steak, and nuts, which are representations of 4 different food groups, of the basic food groups. So once we have a good understanding on what the healthy foods are and what they believe the healthy foods are, we can fill in any gaps or areas where they don't include other aspects of food groups. A lot of kids, when they think of healthy foods, they think of mainly fruits and vegetables, so we can kind of encourage them to think outside of fruit and vegetables and think more along the lines of proteins and dairy. So
for today's brain break, we're going to be doing some stretches while incorporating some math. So first the students are going to start by stretching all the way down, but they're going to count to 50 by 5s. So they'll go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. And they'll come back up and they're going to do both legs. So they'll go down to this side and repeat, counting to 50. Then they'll come back up and go to the other side and repeat and count to 50. And then lastly, they're going to do jumping jacks. And they're going to do 5 jumping jacks, counting backwards from 5. So they'll start at 5 and they'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
on to our main focus activity, we will discuss the 5 basic food groups. There is a video on brainpop.com that is a very good child-friendly video it's very engaging and discusses all the aspects of the 5 basic food groups. And on the board will be labeled the 5 basic food groups, which are veggies, protein, dairy, fruits, grains, but what's not included is fats and sugars, but we want to kind of draw attention to that anyway. So during this activity, the students will come up with examples of what types of meals they eat on a day-to-day basis. This can range from breakfast, lunch, dinner, to just snacks in between dinners. So once we have like a good solid list of each type of meal during the day, we will break down those meals and sort them into their respective groups. So for instance, like spaghetti has pasta, tomato sauce, and it can have, meat in it. So the tomato sauce would go under the veggie category, as it's made from tomatoes, or I guess fruit. It depends on what your preference is. The pasta will be located under the grains, because it is a pasta, and the meats would be going underneath the protein. And any type of snack foods that they have come up with will definitely, like junk foods, will all fall under the fats and sugars, so they can identify the fact that some things that they eat are not healthy and should be avoided. So once we have, everybody will be split up amongst 3 groups. Probably should have said this before. We'll be split into 3 groups, and each group will represent breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And so once we've done about 3 cycles where each group has had a list of breakfast, lunch, and dinner meals, we'll move on to the closing activity. So that's it.
For our closing activity, we're going to ask the students to create their own food pyramid. They'll have to create a food pyramid like this using their favorite foods, and they'll put their favorite foods in each of the different food groups. This activity allows me to assess each student individually to make sure they understand the different foods and which group they go into.